All praise, people. Well, like I say, is an energy source is within us, and we are part of it. Therefore, we are it, and therefore we are, because it exists. We are part of it, and all I can say is I thank it for doing that for us. Now, let's get straight to it. We have a very good one of our brothers who I deal with when I talk on the phone and stuff like that. He's a good brother, and he's gonna be doing a live show with me and stuff like that. But he has been sending me some videos, and you know what? I got more videos that I got to show you, but I want to show you some of the things that he sent me. Maybe they might help you. So without that saying, let's get going.
House here. Look at the sun. Passed the floor yesterday, AB 957. It is a bill that basically says to a parent that you cannot instill values into your child, but the state has the right.
Did that pass?
It passed the Assembly yesterday, so it has to go to the Senate after that. So it passed the Assembly.
Likely that it passes the Senate.
100%. So AB 957 states that if a parent doesn't affirm their child's ideology, their vision of what they think they are at any age, whether it's 4 years old, 3 years old, 1 year old, that if a parent doesn't affirm that they may think that they're a boy or they may think that they're a girl, that parent has committed child abuse on them, and it gives the state the right to take away that child.
Not one serious damage to a soul in this and a strong expression of the spike protein. So if I may make a personal comment, this is not a scientific comment. If I were a woman in fertile age, I would not plan a motherhood from a man who has been vaccinated, unless
this society is too weak. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? A more modern variation, the Spartans. Do you think they had depression? Maybe you are laughing, but all of these groups, they are too busy with their body. They are too busy with activity to be. How does the time look?
So what y'all know, if you didn't know, the Spartans were black. That's right. They were black. And they switched everything up, the white man and all the outside nations did, to make it seem like they were white.
Physicality into your life. This society is too weak. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? A more modern variation, the Spartans. Do you think they had depression? Maybe you are laughing, but all of these groups, they are too busy with their body. They are too busy with activity to be depressed. Yeah, but nowadays, how does the time look? You can sit if you want from morning till evening just in front of the screen. And nothing's gonna happen anymore. We need to make us stronger again. Get more physicality.
Get rid of the technology.
Weak. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? More
You see how they were serving fallen white Nephilim giants and Spaniard Nephilim giants?
How advanced do you think the ancient Indian civilization was? In the year 1905, the German physicist Albert Einstein shocked the entire scientific community with this formula. It is perhaps the most famous formula describing the relationship between mass and energy. In simple words, what Einstein had shown was mass can be converted into energy and vice versa. But what if I tell you that this relation was known to ancient civilizations of India thousands of years ago? Some ancient Indian texts clearly state that this visible or manifested universe is nothing but energy. What we call matter
is just energy, because we are all energy. You cannot be created because you're energy. They lied. You see that? Only the Nephilims created their own being by raping things and gene splicing and mixing stuff ain't supposed to be mixing. Abominations. You get it yet?
Putin, the Russian's president, he's passed a law that any Russian who grows or sells genetically modified foods is to be considered a terrorist. Whew. He's even giving land away to Russians who will grow food organically, non-GMO. You put his name and GMO in Google that, and you'll read the spiel. He says, we Russians look across at the West, over-vaccinated, over-medicated, overfed, sitting in front of boxes every night in their lounge rooms, eating food that has no nutrients, he said, and we know it's weakening the West. Is he right? Absolutely right, yeah. Unfortunately, Monsanto is so powerful and so wealthy and so big, they win every court case where Australians want GMO to be labelled on the products. Happens in America too, it's unfortunate. So how do you know? Well, you don't, unless you buy organic. You see, if an organic...
You can buy organic all you want, and you'll find out that it's not organic. It is actually the same shit. You just pay more for it. Grow your own food. That's how you know. Come together. That's how you know.
Can you imagine what we'd be capable of today if we were adapted to this type of atmosphere? I mean, we find these fossils of towering dinosaurs with massive insects, but after the flood, it seems like life just gets smaller and smaller. You see, one huge reason why things were so big once upon a time is because there was way more oxygen in the air back then. This would have affected absolutely everything in the earth in those days. See, oxygen also has this most interesting effect on humans. After a dose of highly oxygenated air, humans just seem to operate better. Increases in strength, stamina, recovery, focus are tired. You'd sleep less. You could run for miles without even breaking a sweat. You could jump higher than any one of us could possibly even dream of. After breathing in pure oxygen, you'd be able to hold in your breath for unnatural amounts of time.
You could
Life on
fly.
Earth would straight up look like an
Super
Avengers movie.
abilities.
Can you imagine what we'd be capable of today if we were adapted to this type of atmosphere? I mean, we find these fossils.
What do you know about the history of human civilization on this planet? Researchers are baffled by what they are finding in the forgotten texts of ancient India, which point to a radically different and advanced civilization on Earth. These thousands of years old texts describe the flora and fauna of our planet so vividly that you will be left speechless. Not only that, they even talk about the existence of extraterrestrial creatures and their interactions with humans. The Padma Puran is such a text, which says, there are about 900,000 species living in water, about 2 million non-moving living entities, such as trees and plants, about 1.1 million species of insects. And what is so shocking is that it also says there are about 400,000 humanoid species in the known universe. The Atharva Veda mentions a peculiar type of creatures known as chromias. They resemble viruses and bacteria in their primitive forms, but have evolved to an intelligent state. Their planet is naturally damp and dark.
So we were fighting with these aliens when we were, obviously, then they invaded. The first ones that invaded was the aliens a long time ago before they ever got here. Those demons, and we were beating them up, bossing them up, beating them down. And so they had to come with a spell. They had to come with another plan. They came with religion, and they came with their own man they made in the Garden of Eden. And they came with spells. They came with witchcraft. They came with all sorts of ridiculous religion and beliefs. And they finally did what they had to do. But now the game is over, and they know it.
called World War III.
Okay, I don't think it's World War III, but something big just happened from the White House, ordering the Select Reserve and certain members of Individual Ready Reserve of the Armed Forces to active duty. Are we amping up for something, or am I misreading this and gauging this completely? Making it sound to be, it's not easy to activate guards and reservists. How big of a deal is this? It's a huge deal. Up to 3,000 reserves, and we don't know if it stops there? Yeah, I'm sure all of you can agree. A big deal. Think about this. Have you guys seen this floating around on the media lately? Is anyone reporting on this? 3,000 reserves. And not hardly even a peep on the news, and more than 3,000 if they see fit. Can you imagine being in for 4 years, a helicopter pilot, say, and you're about ready to get out, go back to your family, and they're like, hold up, wait a minute, buddy.
That's called World War III.
Okay.
What's happening right now, what I got the report about what's going to happen towards end times, well, Russia has been killing a whole bunch of Ukraine with some new type of weapon. It's already happened.
Hey, what do you think about this?
And we was told that that it's actually, oh my goodness, what the hell? The fuck? Okay, so, yeah. All right, let's get straight to what I was talk to you about. All right, so, man, that picture, I was like, what the fuck? All right, so, like I was trying to say, before that whole thing popped up, the reason they're using the National Guards is because by using National Guards, the National Guards will end up being defenseless as far as against these nations that invaded the United States and they're under tunnels underground, the border of Mexico, Canada, and your backyards, stuff like that. They really are. And they're going to pop up and do what they're going to do. However, they're sending the Army and Marines away to the Middle East and to Russia and to Ukraine and might be soon to the fake Israel because, you know, they still trying to push that bullshit, right? And which means, and they're going to push them all the way to, what's the word of that place? Korea and some Taiwan. And they're going to sit there and spread the soldiers so thin that they will lose that war. You will lose the United States war, which of course, whatever, you know, they got to fall anyway so we can take back our shit. And then they're not going to have you defended by any of the Arabics and the Al-Qaeda and the Chinese and the Russian and the so forth that takes over the whole entire world. So you'll be left to fight for yourself. This is why they're doing it like this. I just want y'all to know and to give somebody some props. My brother, I see a lot of stuff I know, but sometimes I don't always put the pieces together. I don't know why. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes once in a while, I just don't do it. And it's something I got to work on. However, he did. We had a conversation. He called me back and said, we had this conversation. He says, this is why they're going to do this. And it hit me like, damn, it would make all the sense in the world. You would have nobody, no police, no cop, no armed forces here to defend you. You would have to get your gun and fight on your own. You would have no choice but to defend yourself. Now, all you outside nations, if you live in certain neighborhoods, yes, you have guns, but there's certain countries where they haven't allowed you to have a gun. In the United States, you can have a gun. Everybody and their mama got guns. Everybody mama got 3 or 4 guns and more weapons on top of that. However, you are not equipped. Well, actually, some of you are equipped to fight, and some of you ain't. But you will fall. Because the bottom line is, only the ones that are going to survive this is the so-called black man, because we are. And that's just the bottom line.
In 1945, a farmer finds several sealed earthenware jars containing 13 leather-bound papyrus books in Egypt. These secretly hidden books are about to change the way we look at human history. These secret books were written by early Gnostic Christians, and they contained information about how the human race was genetically modified to steer evolution in a certain direction. These texts describe a race of extraterrestrial reptilian creatures known as Archons, who had ruled the planet for many centuries. In all almost every ancient culture, we find the descriptions of these serpent-like beings. In India and other parts of Southeast Asia, these creatures are called Nagas. But what is so intriguing is that these secret books referred to the so-called Garden of Eden as a complex genetic engineering lab where these reptilian archons had tried to genetically mutate the human race so that they could evolve in their own image. In 1940,
So in other words, your whole government and all these shape-shifting reptilians that rule your government are the product, one of the products of the devil's reptilians. Yeah, now you know. And they also did some of your other outside nations. All your outside nations got some of the DNA in them is not as much, but that's what made y'all pale. That's what made you lose your melanin. That's why you can't stand the sun.
When they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president. Now none of them 3 people make no laws. They just be checking them. The laws come to their desk and all they do is say no or yes to it. So when the news station tried to tell us that Barack Obama couldn't put us on, we was all salty at Obama when it was the Congress members all along. We gotta focus on the legislative branch. Yeah, they the ones that make the laws. Yeah, they the ones write how much food stamp money you get on the call. But when people that wanted to help us wanted the job, I know they probably lost. Cause we ain't even know their name, we ain't know their face, we ain't know it all. So the Congress or the State House, that's legislative, they make laws. So what we want from the president is what they do. Okay, y'all? See, they election every 2 years, but we don't never even go to those. The Congress, they can raise minimum wage, but we ain't even really know it though. The State House make the court costs. So if the country failed, then you can't say it's them, it's your fault. Cause y'all ain't know to vote for Congress members that was for y'all. And they don't gotta leave after 4 years. We just let them sit. See, they don't want to tell you this. They want you to focus on the president. Now, the 3rd branch is the judicial. That's judges. They the reason why John Crawford and Trayvon had justice. If we gonna fix the U.S., we gotta start with them 2 letters. Me and you. Somebody told us that the government want to keep us broke. But the only reason why those people in the government is because we ain't vote. And I ain't talking about the president. I'm talking about the ones we ain't know. See, they was gonna try to keep it low, but it's gonna hurt them when they see the problem. Go back in middle school when they taught us. It was 3 branches of the government.
So it's gonna hurt them when it's over and they're about to see it. But the fact is that when we ran stuff, we never really ran it through like a president. We was running stuff the right way, and we knew how the stuff worked. How do you think Martin Luther King was able to get our check? When he says our check, he's talking about all our land back, our whole country back, which means that everybody that wasn't from here would have had to leave ASAP. This is why they killed him. He knew.
The age of lab-grown meat has arrived in this country. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal egg or a special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a...
Now, don't you fool yourself. This is the genetic modified demon metal chicken that Mr. Bill Gates, the snake, and all his Dr. Fauci and everybody else has put together so that you can eat this piece of shit and become magnetic like all of the dummies who did what they wanted them to do. Don't be fooled.
A special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first...
Special bank of stored cells. Let you watch it again.
Owned by famed chef Jose Andres before hitting stores.
Oh, a Spaniard.
Has arrived in this country. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal egg or a special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a restaurant in San Francisco and another one in Washington, D.C., owned by famed chef Jose Andres before hitting stores. The age of lab-grown meat has arrived in this country. The Agriculture Department just approved 2 California companies to sell chicken grown in steel tanks using cells that come from an animal egg or a special bank of stored cells. The cell-cultivated chicken will first be available at a restaurant in San Francisco and another...
I guarantee you it came from a special bank of stored cells, double DNA. They want you to eat it so you can turn into a devil. Think about it.
Only people on the planet that blame the white man for 95% of our problems, but still spend 97% of our money with them. We, the black people, we are the leaders in unnecessary spending. You know what unnecessary spending is? It's buying stuff you don't need with people with money that you don't have, from people that you don't even like, to impress people that you don't even know. So that's us. So I'm saying that to say that let's put an end to retail therapy. Keep the family time, keep the dinner, keep the love, keep the unity. Let's just get rid of the paganism, and let's withhold our dollar as a discipline. We are the only people on
Brian TV, bang, bang, bang. More life, family. Bliss up, abundance, or don't know. Alrighty. So, yo, family, do I have a treat for you? Guys, check this out. This is one of the most amazing things I've seen, fam, because this is Tartaria 4K, family. No joke. Okay, so check this out, family. This is Germany, all right, in 1902. All right, and videos been colorized for the 4K, like I said. And as you can see, family, this is a suspension train. All right, a suspension train. We don't have this now, fam. Look how amazing this is. Look how stylish. And family, take a moment. Look at the buildings, all right, that you're passing by on this train right now, family. And then stop and ask yourself, this video's from 1902. When was this suspension railway built? Because it's 1902, and this isn't brand new. As you can see in the video, this has been here a while. And look at the structure itself. How long did this take to build? All right, so this has been here from some point in the 1800s. And who was doing this in Germany in the 1800s, family? Who was doing this? These people with horse and buggies? Nah, family, you're looking at Tartaria, family. This is from our world, the pre-Diluvian world, family. All right, the pre-flood world. This is Tartarian technology. This is literally the last of one of our cities. You're looking at it, family, in your face, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. We can't reconstruct this right now, fam. Look at the architecture and the design. Yo, this thing is amazing, fam, and I'm telling you, personally, my mind is blown. I love this, all right, fam? This is something that is just a receipt for all the things that we've been knowing, all right? There was a great civilization before this one, and they literally dismantled these. They tore them down. Why? It's not like they replaced them with something better. Nah, fam, they tore these things down to hide them from us. And here we go, all being brought back with the total recall, all right? This new flow we in, this new wave, yeah, all the memories are coming back, and this is part of it. Don't be afraid to be amazed by this, family. I mean, just look at it. This is awe-inspiring. This is elegant technology, fam. This shit is fancy. Let's stop playing. We have nothing that compares to this. And don't forget, this was built during a time when people supposedly only had hammers and chisels, family. There was no electric tools, no welding, nothing like that. You know what I mean? So y'all really think about what's going on here. Did these colonialists, did these colonizers really build this? Or was this what they found when they got here? Hence the founding fathers, hence Freemasonry. Yeah, they found all this shit and they got a bunch of Freemasonry. Like I've been telling you guys, they've been reverse engineering our technology ever since, and they still can't get it right. They still can't copy the works of the Supreme. Yo, family, we are totally up. Take this in, filter it through into the new code and the new spiral. This is your shit. We up. Bang. Yeah, so again, peeps, again, council, there's no way the horse and buggy people built any of this. Nah, man, this is Atlantis you're looking at. This is really Bumeri you're looking at right in your face. It's been here the whole time. You see me? We've been walking around with our eyes wide shut, family. Wake up. Time to live. Spiral up. Bang, bang, bang.
If I told you in 1893 there was a city in America that looked like this, would you believe me? Well, this was the Chicago World's Fair of 1893, and this looks nothing like the Chicago that we know today. And you may be asking, what is the Chicago's World Fair? Apparently, it was a celebration of the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus's arrival to the New World. It was also made to present the world's newest innovations, inventions, and ideas. They also tell us that these buildings were temporary and were only made for the fair. And just tell me, do these Greek Roman-looking buildings look temporary to you? And just look at this structure. This was the Mines and Mining Building at the World's Fair, one of the many magnificent structures. And this was the Agricultural Building. Just look at the details of this temporary building. And this one is the Manufacturers and Liberal Arts Building. And this is the Golden Door Transportation Building. All of these buildings have insane amounts of detail. And keep in mind, there were 690 acres of buildings like these. All of these which were apparently temporary buildings. And come on, you're telling me these had to be destroyed because they're built on a lease? And come on, if you're building structures like this, you would not be building them on a lease just for a year. Many people believe these were the remains of an older and more advanced civilization, and that the people that write our history are trying to hide that from us. Let me know your thoughts on the Chicago World's Fair in the comments. I highly suggest that you do your own research on this topic too. Like and follow for more content like this. The first World's Fair in the United States was in Philadelphia in 1876. And you may ask, what is the Philadelphia World's Fair? The mainstream narrative claims it was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. It was held in Fairmount Park with nearly 10 million people. 37 countries attended. But some things just don't add up. For example, the main building was the largest one in the fair, enclosing 21 acres. It was also temporary, keep that in mind. And apparently it just took 1 year to construct the main building. How are you going to build this structure in addition with another 199 structures in just 3 years? I mean, come on. It took us nearly 4 years to build the SoFi Stadium in California in 2016. And you're expecting us to believe they built this in 1 year with just horse and wagon? You can also see that the architecture is very similar to the other World's Fairs. That makes you question.
In other words, they took down a lot of our buildings that took way more than 4 or 5 years to build. And we had technology way better than their primitive hammers and nails and stuff. We had technology that can make stuff float right in the air and be placed right where you wanted them. Just like when you seen King David's Kingdom. Those big old bricks, we knew the technology, all right, that was used to cause vibration, to lift stuff, mega stones in the air, like it was nothing, be placed in a spot like it was nothing, to cut through stone with vibration like it was nothing. We knew.
Was there really a civilization here before us? Are we living in their remains? Comment your thoughts and theories about the World's Fair. And always remember to do your own research. What if I told you this is what St. Louis looked like in 1904? Would you believe me? Probably not, because this is what St. Louis looks like today. This was the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair, or the Louisiana Purchase Expo. The mainstream narrative claims it was a combination of trade show, civic showpiece, and a monument to culture, along with more than a king of American pride. But some things just don't add up about the narrative. For example, it took 3 years to build 150 buildings like this. That would be almost 42 buildings a month, and keep in mind, the buildings were of this stature. They also say these buildings were temporary, just like the Chicago World's Fair. But come on, just look at this. Why so much intricate detail for a building that's temporary? And the reason for destroying these buildings were the same as the Chicago World's Fair. And it was because they were built on a lease for a year. Come on. I don't know about you, but this does not look like something you would keep up just for a year. There are many theories.
They destroyed those buildings and stuff like that because they carried positive energy that would keep us on top. See, they knew about this. And it also hit stuff that we did. In other words, oh shit, you mean to tell us that we better than y'all? We can build better than y'all? What the hell are y'all? Y'all shouldn't be here. Something ain't right. Are y'all aliens? No, y'all are aliens. We got to kill y'all. Y'all can't come here. Y'all can't stay here. We got to kill all y'all. Every race, every nationality that ain't black must die. That's what we would have started thinking. This is why they got rid of that shit. Especially when Malcolm X hit the scene. Any means necessary.
These buildings came from one world civilization, and that the writers of our history don't want us to know about them. That theory would explain why there are so many Greek Roman-style buildings all around the world. But that's just a theory. Like, follow, and leave a comment about what you guys think about this. And always remember to do your own research.
And what we see here is absolutely breathtaking. The San Francisco World's Fair of 1915. Tell me anybody's building that tower with plywood and stucco, or any of these buildings, In less than 2 years, all the fully grown trees and shrubbery, the over-the-top architecture, all to be torn down in 6 months. Except for the ones they decided to keep around, of course. Perhaps a trophy of the old world. All these canal systems, all these reflecting pools, all the decorative ornamented tops on the buildings, the tropical gardens. To think this could be done in 2 years in modern times would be stunning, let alone in 1915. And even amazing yet is these were popping up all over the world, nearly happening yearly, all looking to this same grand scale, telling us the same story. 6 months they tore it down, even if it was temporary. To what purpose? Why would you go through such scales to tear something down shortly after? And why can't we do it today? That statue alone, there's nothing temporary about that. I believe these World's Fairs to be the parades of the conquerors, showing off the lands inherited.
Here. And here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, walking up to greet you under his own power. Stop. You see, all I need to do is to speak into this phone, and Electro does exactly what I tell him to do. Sometimes. But I don't see why I'm telling Electro's story when he's perfectly able to tell his own. So let's listen and see what Electro has to say to us today. All right, Electro, will you tell your story, please?
Who?
Yes, you.
Okay, good. Ladies and gentlemen, will be very glad.
Now, they took a robot that we made. We made robots. We kept them pretty simple, primitive, and we didn't stick AI in them. There's a lot of stuff we didn't use. We didn't use our own melanin to make computer chips. We didn't trap souls inside machines like they do now. Even your phone has a soul, a spirit trapped in it, and it's mad. You know, all I can say is use your phone for good to expose these evil demons, because if anything is trapped in your phone, then they will be happy that you're exposing them versus using them to watch stupid shit like music and YouTube retarded shit and stuff that you shouldn't be watching. I know how some of y'all get down. I'm not stupid. Let's get back to it.
To tell my story,
I present to you
sorry about that. All right, brothers and sisters. I want you to remember just one thing. All right. Everything happened after 1875. Remember the Gullah Wars? We beat the fuck out of them. They surrendered. And then they tricked us out of our land by offering us money and buying up property, and we took the money. All right? We didn't know anything about money. We took it. Just like
it wasn't money. Stop. It was trinkets. Tell the truth. It was trinkets. Bullshit earrings and little bullshit like that. Because we knew people wasn't worth shit. We knew that at that time. We had gold land everywhere. We had everything. We knew it. So we won't fall for that. But a trinket, you know what I'm saying, a trinket earring that we never seen before, and this thing has powers. This thing will bring you more powers than you ever had. You take this and give us this land. That's how they got motherfuckers. Come on, man. Even the real Cherokee want their land back. They sold their land for trinkets. We all did. And an agreement on a piece of paper with a pen known as bad paper, because we found out that they were getting tricked to take our land away.
We took religion. We didn't know anything about that. And this is how they acquired the land.
That's right. They also gave us religion for exchange for some of our land. We felt for the okie doke, bro.
All right. So they literally stole it from us through trickery. And the trickery that they
spells and witchcraft
use was different levels of politics. And then they taught us how to live according to their alien ways. All right.
Make no doubt about it. All these people, including you half-breeds, you are alien. You have to die. You can't stay here. No doubt about it. There's no love for you. It is what it is. Sorry, you're done. We know the truth, and the real people, the real ones, ain't going for it.
This part of it. This is the New York World Fair. All right. Just remember, this entire land belongs to us. I posted on Facebook earlier. I said, you know what? They want to give us reparations. Tell them to give us reparations. We'll take the money, but then we're going to buy all the land back. And they can have all the money and no land.
Man, fuck that reparations, man. That money ain't worth shit. It's already fallen. It's going to crash. All money's going to crash. Everything's going to crash. We don't want none of that. Just give us our land back and get the fuck off this planet. How about we just kill all y'all and y'all don't have to be on our planet? How about that?
Brothers and sisters, we got a lot to get back.
When y'all gonna stand up for what